A teenager hacked the CIA and the FBI and got sentenced, but then his redemption arc spells the beginning of the journey of Celestia. Over the years, that project pivoted to building for big tech before eventually launching one of the most significant decentralized networks in the space. Most people see the current price of Celestia and see a failed project, but history shows that the real wealth in tech is built by the infrastructure, the protocols that everyone else has to use. Celestia is currently the backbone for over 100 blockchains, yet it's trading for pennies, and we like that. Today, we're examining if Celestia is the ultimate vehicle for your retirement and exactly how many tokens you might need to secure the first million. Let's get into it. This is not financial advice, always do your own research. Mustafa al-Bassam grew up in London after moving from Baghdad as a child. As a teenager, he co-founded lulzsec, a hacking collective known for attacks on organizations like Sony Pictures, the CIA and the FBI websites, and other high-profile targets. By the way, this year marks the 25th anniversary of 9/11, so if you appreciate the CIA and the FBI as much as I do, give this video a like and subscribe. So, the activities of Mustafa's group led to his arrest and a criminal conviction, but after serving his sentence, he turned his skills toward legitimate security research. He earned a PhD at University College London and later co-founded a sharded smart contract platform called Chainspace. Facebook actually acquired that same Chainspace in 2019 to help build Libra, and most of the team joined Facebook, but al-Bassam did not. That same year, he teamed up with engineers Ismail Hofi and John Adler to found Celestia, built around one idea: separate consensus and data availability from execution, which will allow developers to launch their own blockchains without building a validator set from scratch. They raised nearly $1.6 million in seed funding in 2021, then an impressive $55 million from Bain Capital Crypto and Polychain Capital in October 2022. That pushed the valuation to $1 billion, believe it or not. The mainnet launched on October 31st, 2023, and less than a year later, in September 2024, the Celestia Foundation raised another $100 million, bringing the total funding to roughly $155 million. Despite all that funding, however, today the TIA token trades at approximately 40 cents, with a market cap around $380 million. Underestimated? We find out in the next few minutes, and we start with one of the most important aspects, that of the tokenomics. See, Celestia has no hard supply cap, which isn't exactly reassuring to begin with. TIA launched with 1 billion tokens at Genesis, and inflation starting at 8% a year, gradually decreasing. 2 recent upgrades sped that up. First, we have the Lotus upgrade in July 2025, which cut inflation by around 33%. Then, the Matcha upgrade in November 2025 cut it again from 5% to roughly 2.5%. Dilution is shrinking, yes, but it has not stopped. There's also a bigger proposal on the table called Proof of Governance. It is envisioned to 1. Reduce protocol issuance to 0.25% and pay directly to validators, and 2. Burn protocol fees to distribute REV to TIA token holders. It's a live proposal, not yet implemented, so treat it as a potential catalyst and not a done deal. When we look at the circulating supply, it sits around 940 million TIA, with about 44% staked, as the staking rewards run around 5%. We have covered the tokenomics, but there's another angle that's crucial for TIA's price performance, and that is naturally the network performance and the ecosystem. Look, rollups need somewhere cheap to publish transaction data so anyone can verify, and instead of paying Ethereum's prices, they can pay Celestia for a fraction of the cost. In fact, Celestia has processed over 160 gigabytes of rollup data since its launch and commands roughly half of the entire data availability market. For rollups like Eclipse, that's meant paying Celestia around $6,000 for data that would have cost otherwise, over $300,000 on Ethereum? Every major rollup framework like Arbitrum Orbit, the Optimism Stack, or Polygon CDK supports Celestia as an option. They have to, it's that efficient. On the technology side, a July 2026 upgrade recently halved block times from 6 to 3 seconds, and Celestia's Fibre roadmap has since demonstrated throughput of up to 1 terabit per second across nearly 500 nodes in testing. That is 1,500 times the network's original targets. Just keep that in mind. Talk about over-delivering, guys. Now, the honest picture includes this next caveat. Despite all the adoption, actual dollar revenue flowing through the network is still tiny. Often just tens to low hundreds of dollars a day in fees. Perhaps that's the trade-off of being radically cheap. Usage is growing fast, but it hasn't yet translated into meaningful token demand at the fee level. The millionaire math with TIA is just around the corner, but it would be absolutely foolish of us to ignore the risks associated with the project. First up, we've got the dilution. Even at a reduced 2.5%, Celestia still prints new tokens every year with no ceiling, and the proof of governance hasn't passed yet at that. Second, the competition is just intensifying. EigenDA, backed by Ethereum's restaking ecosystem, claims actually far higher raw throughput and is indeed winning the Ethereum native rollups. Avail, on the other side, is also chasing multi-chain flexibility. And then Ethereum's own blob upgrades keep narrowing the cost gap that made Celestia attractive in the first place. The third risk is the validator concentration. Just consider this. Roughly 16 validators now control about half of all delegated stake. A centralizing trend on a network that markets itself on decentralization. Doesn't check out exactly, does it? On the positive side, however, there's no record of a major hack or exploit at the core protocol level since the mainnet launched, if that's any consolation, of course. Alright lads, it's time for that long-awaited millionaire math, and to set the ground for it, here's a bit of context on the TIA price performance in the past. The token launched at $2.29 on October 31st, 2023, and hit its all-time high of $20.85 on February 10th, 2024. Since then, it's fallen to an all-time low around 23 cents before recovering to today's price of approximately 40 cents. So here we are at 40 cents with 3 scenarios for TIA's performance to bring us to $1 million. Kicking off with the most conservative bear case that projects $2 per TIA, which is back near that launch price, a return of over 5x, putting together a market cap of around $1.9 billion. Grab 500,000 TIA tokens today for just under $200,000 and chill to the mill. Next up is the base case with TIA reaching $5 a piece, nearly 13x ROI from today's level, hitting a market cap of around $4.7 billion. To reach the $1 million portfolio, the number of tokens required is 200,000, costing around $78,000 today. And at long last, the bull case is here, and it shamelessly calls for $20 per TIA. That's the all-time high reclaimed, 51x return, and a market cap of about $18.8 billion. You would need 50,000 tokens, which would cost you almost $20,000 today. The difference from last time, which makes me hopeful, is this. The data availability market barely existed back then, and Celestia now controls half of it. So there it is, guys. A teenage hacker who came from Baghdad to London, hacked the FBI and the CIA websites, but then grew up to help build the technology behind Facebook's Libra. Later, he walked away and built something decentralized instead. Celestia now quietly moves data from over 800 blockchains most people have never heard of, and its token trades ridiculously low. Could that be one of crypto's most underpriced infrastructure plays? Or is it that data availability is just becoming a commodity every chain eventually gets for free? Simple question, yes, potentially worth $1 million if we go by the 3 scenarios we discussed today. With that said, I really want to know your TIA price targets, so drop them in the comments and let's see who turns out right in the end. Now, if you like this breakdown, please let me know by giving this video a like and also subscribe for more of these $1 million opportunities that we talk about here on this channel. I'm Stan, thank you for watching airdrops.com, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.